Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Someone requested this on Twitter, so I figured I would try to deliver. This is a video about using dealer side gamma hedging, also known as gamma exposure, condensed to be as quick as possible. So the first thing we need to discuss is the gamma curve and how this works. Essentially what this shows us is that when we are at the money, so we are at the strike that is containing all of the gamma that we're concerned with, that is when gamma will have its strongest impact. So as we're further out of the money or further in the money, gamma's impact will be lighter. This means that as we move towards the strike, so pretend that this was SPY 400 for instance, as we move towards this strike, the gamma impact will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then eventually as we continue to move over it, the impact becomes smaller and smaller. Same if we go to the other way. If we're going either direction, gamma impact will be greatest at the strike. Now, the thing we need to note is that there is a difference between negative and positive gamma. So if we look at negative gamma here, which we can see on all these strikes, negative gamma will actually assist whichever move is happening over top of that strike. So if dealers are actually selling into the negative gamma strike, if institutions, retail, whoever's driving the market is selling into a negative gamma strike, dealers will be assisting that move. So, and the same goes for buying. If institutions are buying as we approach that strike, dealers will be buying with them. And let's say they stop buying while we're over type, the institutions stop buying while we're on top of a strike or a little bit above a strike and start selling, dealers will also assist this move. They will just go with whatever the current move is. So negative gamma can act as accelerant and helps fluid movement over those strikes. However, if we look at positive gamma, it's the exact opposite. Positive gamma will act as resistance if it's above us, or support if price is above it. So what that means is if price is moving up into this positive gamma strike, dealers are actually selling into that. So that's what creates that resistance effect from positive gamma. And the same is true on the other side. If we're already above it and institutions are selling into that positive gamma strike, dealers will actually be buying and it will become support. That also means if that institutions are buying and break through that strike and we get above it, and then eventually there's a pullback on price and we move down towards it, it will now flip and act as support as it forces dealers to buy. So some notable factors about gamma is that we also always need to account for the Vanna impact. Vanna creates a much bigger impact. It can impact strikes. So if Vanna's at a bunch of Vannas stored up at a particular strike, it can impact strikes that are far away from it. Whereas gamma cannot do that. Gamma will never be a magnet. I see all the time people incorrectly say this is the gamma magnet. That's not true. Gamma is a local effect. It cannot be a magnet. It's actually Vanna that calls that magnet effect. Oftentimes gamma and Vanna, large amounts of it fall on the same strike. And so people mistakenly who are only looking at gamma think that it's gamma that has that impact, but that is impossible. Gamma is not capable of acting as a magnet. Vanna and gamma on correlated assets and NFC should always be considered. So if we're looking at gamma on SPY, we also want to look at it on SPX because both of those go together. There are hedging factors we need to concern ourselves with from both when we're looking at dealer side positioning. Again, as I mentioned, negative gamma works both ways. I mean, technically they both work both ways, but what I mean by that is if there's negative gamma on a strike, and institutions are buying as we pass through that strike, dealers will be buying. All of a sudden, if institutions flip and they start selling, dealers will be selling. So what we need to realize here, it's a hedging impact. It only responds to the existing move. It does not cause a move by itself, meaning if we're passing through a strike or we're on top of that strike and there's gamma impacting that move, if all of a sudden institutions and retail traders and whomever else were just to stop buying or selling, so would the hedging impact, right? The hedging impact is only a response to the move. So it's either accelerating the move or helping to stunt the move. It's never causing the move on its own. And that's an important distinction. And so one thing I want to do before we close up here is just show how I like to mark large gamma levels. So I like to mark the positive ones in green and the negative ones in red. And as we just discussed, positive gamma will essentially have a resistance effect if we're below it, or a supportive effect if we are above it. So in this case, positive gamma at 408, we actually reject off of it because as we moved into it, dealers were selling into this. Now, I should say this is the gamma levels as of today. This is not what they look like on Friday, which is the day I'm showing. However, if it stays this way, we could see that as dealers were to push into 408, there would be selling from excuse me, as institutions were to push into 408, dealers would be selling, which would act as resistance. And the same goes if we were approaching 405 on a move down, dealers would be buying, which will act as support. If we break 405, come down, retest it, they'll actually be selling into that retest. And if we go lower as we get to 400 and we're approaching it and crossing over it, dealers would start selling with that move. Now, that does not mean we're just going to rip right over it. What can happen, we can actually see here Gamma was actually positive Gamma at one point in time. But if we were just to rip through it, and then all of a sudden institutions were to start buying, dealers would actually assist that move back up over it. So 400 should be considered more of a fluid level, not necessarily support or resistance, but it will just help assist whatever moves going over it. So anyway, I tried to keep this short, and I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions, I do have several other videos about Gamma on this channel that get into a much deeper dive, but I just wanted to make this one as quick as possible to help those that just want a quick overview of how Gamma works. And thanks for watching.